a lot of your stuff for this, and it's a different vibe, Tucker. Yeah. I mean, look, if we had been in more contact before you did the Putin interview, I would have told you, you got to check some boxes with this guy. I get why you're going to say, I'm not going to get there and get into a fight with a guy who may not let me out of the country.
Yeah. No. I was never afraid. I was afraid of the U.S. government, not of Putin at all.
Of them doing what?
Arresting me when I got back for a sanctions violation. That's what my lawyers told me. If you go talk to Putin, and if you don't ask him tough questions, the Biden administration very easily arrests you. There's a big law firm told me that, a big law firm. One of the biggest law firms.
But how bullshit is that?
I thought it was, and I was like, I don't care. I'm an American citizen. I'm going anyway.
I don't disagree that sitting across from Putin and getting into a shouting match or whatever is going to bear much fruit for people. I understand that. And I get that it's a commodity in the media, but I get that it may not be the highest good.
Well, it's also just vanity. It's vanity.
There is an aspect of it. But you made choices. Like, you didn't ask him about Navalny. You said, well, all leaders kill. But don't you feel that if you are going to go and sit with someone like that, you have to hold them to account for things that matter? Like
I did.
The fact that he may have murdered somebody or a lot of people?
Well, I mean, the Ukrainians say that he didn't kill Navalny, so I think it's...
well, who killed him then? Guy looks good 1 minute, and the next minute he's dead?
I mean, in some larger sense, the Russian government...
And what Ukrainians say they don't. Zelensky says he killed him.
No, he doesn't. No, the Ukrainian government said, no, he died of natural causes. Now, what is actually going on there? I can't even guess, okay? Navalny died in the middle of the Munich Security Conference, also in the middle of the debate over Ukraine funding in the United States, and his death was within hours used by the President of the United States to justify another $60 billion. So those are just facts. I haven't the faintest idea. Putin put him in prison, okay? So there's that. So in some sense,
poisoned him.
He's responsible. Look, here's what I learned, and I'm hardly a Russia expert, is this is an extremely complicated political environment, extremely, like next level, okay? These are the people who dominate world chess. And so their politics are incomprehensible to me. So what's actually happening, and I've been in a lot of countries and covered a lot of stuff abroad, and the one thing I've learned is you actually don't really know what's going on. And so I had a bunch of Navalny questions to answer your question in my 4,700 questions that I'd written out. And I decided on the fly not to ask it because I felt like, what about Navalny? Well, whatever he's going to say, I'm not going to move the ball at all. There's a war going on that is resetting the world. I'm not for throwing your political opponents in prison. I hate it. I'm mad that the Biden administration is now doing it. I'm worried about it happening to me. I mean, honestly, I want to get that on the record. So I'm not for that in any sense. I don't choose to live in Russia. I'm not a Putin supporter. But there's a war going on, and it's crushing the United States economy. And most Americans don't understand that. And I want to talk about that. And so I made that decision.
It's crushing the economy. It's not crushing the war economy, though. A lot of that money winds up coming back
small number
to
of
the
people
uniparty, the corporations
rich.
that do that.
I totally agree, but
they always find a way to win.
Kicking Russia out of SWIFT, stealing people's stuff, the oligarch stuff, a lot of these people had nothing to do with the invasion of Ukraine. That's not the rules-based order, actually. That's the hardest-edged possible politics being played by the U.S. government using the U.S. dollar and the sanctions regimes to do it. What is the message to the rest of the world? Get the hell away from the United States. These people, if they elect somebody who's senile like Biden or someone who doesn't like us, they will use the dollar and sanctions to destroy us. Get away. It's not a safe haven anymore. And so that fact will change world history, change the course of American history. We're going to live with that for the rest of our lives. Our grandchildren will live with it. I don't think Americans understand that, and I want them to. And I want to hear what Putin's thinking is. And I don't know if I achieved that or not, but that was definitely. But what I didn't want to do is try to convince other journalists, for whom I have no regard at all, for the most part, that I'm a good person. I don't care what they think of me. They call me a Nazi all the time, which I'm not. So, their views are totally immaterial. I just want to focus on what I want to focus on, and if you don't like it, don't watch it. That's kind of my view.
The first blush of it was Carlson doesn't get to interview Putin. That I absolutely disagreed with, and in fact, as much as it pained me, I defended that proposition that of course, Tucker Carlson, if you can book Putin, he can interview Putin. That's how it works in our business. If you can get him, you can do the interview. Why Putin chooses Tucker Carlson, what Tucker does with the interview, we'll judge when he does. Hey, thank you for watching. please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.